what's up guys? Of course, welcome to this very fine video from me, the Skyrenderer. And yeah, today we're actually going to talk a bit about the tier changes that was here in July. Obviously, the July change is a very small one. The big one is going to hit next month with Aegis. This is basically a tune-up, and this is what I do every month. So it was very surprising to see that there were a few folks moved this time around. Not a big change, but definitely big enough to kind of mention them and anything. And I'm basically here to talk about them, you know, my feels about it, and I want to hear what you guys think. And like I said, the change this time is not that big, and we're just gonna talk Pokemon for Pokemon. But as you can see at the list here, and this is a very, very bad capture list of Togetic has been moved from PU to RU, Cubalion, RU to UU, Reuniclus from BL2 to UU, of course, Meanwhile from BL to OU, and Trevenant from UU to RU. And then we have the Glader, which is still in NU, and the people have been debating this still, so it hit the mid-May, I guess, whether or not should be banned from NU, and I'm basically going to give my own thoughts about it. But as you guys see, it's definitely going to go back to RU as it states right now, but I think it has something like a suspect ban on it before that, so that's why they couldn't go to RU as I got it. But never mind that, let's actually talk about the first. And the easiest change is going to be the Meanwhile. A lot of people actually saw this one coming, or rather Meanwhile has definitely been forced to take more ground in the higher tiers with its, well, very, very strong stabbed ice moves. Definitely necessary for the likes of Altaria, and it pretty much have covered the ground that Mamoswine did for quite some time. Of course, Dark Stab is being very, very important in the higher tiers. And it is definitely showing with being actually able to deal with Slowbro, hitting it quite hard early on, and that is what it comes down to. And the reason I think most people have been using much more. It was in BL before, which means it only could be used in OU, but actually got enough usage to come out of that BL, so it actually now can drop if that were the case. So like I said, Meanwhile, not that surprising, and it's very important in the highest tiers, and it's definitely showing. So not surprised, I'll welcome it to OU. Nice having you there, buddy. The next change is also not that surprising. Reuniclus got actually banned a few weeks back from RU to BL1 or BL2. But now it, of course, is a fully fledged UU Pokemon. And this Pokemon has always been like super strong. I've always been surprised that it's been in, of course, RU, because I really like it. I think it's a great design Pokemon. It has some great, or actually some decent defensive capabilities with extremely high special attack stats, and of course can use Trick Room really, really well. And it is on par. Yes, folks can deal with it, but this Pokemon can come in freely on a lot of things in RU, and that was the reason first place it got suspect ban. And even in UU it really holds its own. It's one of those Pokemon that it has that natural bulk and natural strengths that the usage isn't really complying with the Pokemon's share alone strength, because it can deal with a lot of things in almost any tier, and UU seems good for it. It really does. I'm glad to see it there, and it moved together with another Pokemon that definitely also deserved to be in UU, and that of course is the Cubalion. I have more thoughts about Cubalion too, so we're just going to make that switch. Let's see, I love these clicks, let's do it! There we go. Cubalion is one of those Pokemons that I think got a cold shoulder as long as Doublade was in RU. Of course, in May when Doublade got moved to the what do you call it, the UU tier, Cubalion now was the prime example of Pokemon that was needed. You had the fighting typing, you had the steel stab, and it just could do all sorts of shenanigans. It is naturally very, very speedy. It's not that strong, but has access to the likes of Stealth Rocks, so it could be a utility Pokemon. It can Volt Switch out, which is really nice. And of course, like I said, the stabs are really good on it. Now, Cubalion and Slurpuff have been natural enemies in RU for quite some time. Of course, Slurpuff is not there anymore, but Cubalion still kind of have the same kind of measurement in UU, so it feels very natural for it to move up. So I definitely see the reasons why. And yeah, just Cubalion, like I said, it's an overall very good Pokemon. It's one of those Pokemons, much like Reuniclus, that has the abilities to be in a higher tiers, but just isn't used that much. But the strength and the utilities of the Pokemon alone, it's not bad at all. And you definitely complicates things for a lot of Pokemons. And I think RU is now going to be very interesting without this mighty steel type around. Next change, probably one of the most surprising one, at least from the get-go it was really surprising. Togetic is now from PU to RU. Now, like I said, it was surprising first off, but it kind of makes sense when you really think about it. What does Togetic do that is so important in RU for the May change? Well, it kinda walls Flygon, like really well. Being of course immune to Dragon Stab, being immune to the other stab, and that goes for actually Noivern too. Noivern can't really hurt this thing. Now Noivern is of course not a part of the RU anymore, but once it were, Togetic really brought it. And of course the other mention is gonna be that Scrafty of course hit the RU in May changes, which means that something bulky needed to calm down, and this thing will come up, I guess you say. And Togetic was definitely that Pokemon, being able to resist both stabs there too. So it makes sense now, like I said. Once you give it a bit of a thought, it kind of makes sense that Togetic is definitely your go-to Pokemon in RU. Naturally bulky, has roost, has a good coverage of defenses, and not too shabby special attack, you want to use it for that. And of course access to Nasty Plot. So it can really hold its own if you want to use it like that. I am really, after thinking about it, I'm not surprised. I think it makes sense. So I welcome you there, buddy. Now, here comes a change that most people were really thinking was a bad change, or rather that Trevenant was, well, it was too strong for RU and whatnot, and people have been debating how good wall it is, how well it can keep itself going, and I think most people come to the conclusion that Gourgeist is still a superior wall. Between those two, Harvest, yes, it's a nice ability, but Gourgeist got the likes of Synthesize this time around, so it's not really debatable if you ask me. But what makes Trevenant unique, and the things that are worth mentioning, is its access to multiple approaches to their opponent, with the likes of Natural Cure, having uses of Drain Punch, Horn Leech, and of course Assault Vest Natural Cure. It's really good on it. I don't see Harvest being the best bet for it, mostly because Harvest pretty much kills it. It definitely have been showing later on here, but it's gonna keep going. Knock off, Harvest, kick off is definitely killing it. And yeah, I actually think that RU makes sense for this Pokemon to be in. Not because it necessarily is bad, it's not the reason. The reason is that a lot of new Mega Pokemons actually settle for that tier. Not the likes of the Mega Pidgeot, for example, which obliterates this guy. This Pokemon has been less and less used in UU. So the fall kinda was expected. The people that are feeling that that Pokemon is too strong, I only got one thing to say to you, and that is that it was strong for quite some time, but people have been able to deal with it quite properly. And the Harvest set is not that powerful anymore. It's still a good set, it's still a powerful set, but people have acknowledged that set and know how to work around it. And that's the reason people aren't just feeling for using it anymore, because they are getting that well predicted because of that. So we welcome Trevenant in RU. It's gonna be very interesting with this Pokemon around. And some last thoughts on, of course, Gallade. Now, I have been stating, if you follow me on Twitter, I have stated that I don't see Gallade as that big of a threat. And I know people have been kicking me about that, but I mean it. I really do. Gallade is really not that unique. Sure, it got some decent special defense, and yes, it got some very good attack. But it shares a lot with Sawk. Which, of course, Sawk is much more hated for me, but that's not really the reason. They shared 120 base attack there. Of course, Gallade is being more bulky on the special defensive side, but then we have the other reason. Sawk is faster. Sawk is much more tougher to deal with in the situation that is a sweeping situation. Now, Gallade is much more complex and has access to Will-O-Wisp. It can be unique, and I think that's the reason. I could kind of state that I see the reason why it kind of has to go from NU2, and I'm sure it's gonna be bad, no doubts about it really. But like I said, I see the reason why it could stay too. I don't think it is as good as people make it out to be. I really thought that at some time, and then Fletchinder happened, and yeah, haven't really recovered from that. But yeah, that's my fault, guys. Like I said, I didn't really want to make this as lengthy as it kind of became here. Now you really scared about the next update here in Aegis and see what happens. I have no idea what's gonna drop. I really don't, and it's gonna probably be a big change as always. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I think we're gonna get back Sesmitoad and you, though. I am sure of it. But yeah, guys, that's my time. I want to thank you for watching this video, of course. I hope you got something out of it, and if you say this long, I mean, wow, thanks. It means a lot. And if you have your own thoughts, share them. I will read them, and I think most other people here will read them too. Like I said, I am a bit late about this video, considering it's been 6 days in now since the tier change. But I hope you guys appreciate this anyway, and I want to thank you as always for watching, of course. And remember, guys, sky's the limit. I'll see you guys the next day. Take care. Bye.